You're welcome, ma. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think the network is.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think while we wait for Mrs. Toyin to join us, I will just do a quick introduction. So Mrs. Toyin is the founder of the Techy Accountants Initiative. And at the Techy Accountants, what we're doing is to help the finance professionals become the best in their career. So regardless of where you are at the moment or what level you are in your career, whether entry level, mid-level, or executive level, we have a package for you. And Mrs. Toyin is the brain behind this initiative. So as you can see, I'm sure you can see the screen, we have a brief, a summary of our profile, and you can read quickly. So aside from being the founder of the Techy Accountants, she's a seasoned finance professional with over 7 years or 8 years of extensive experience in the tax area of financial reporting, taxation, and financial advisory. I want to just summarize it. She's also the principal consultant for Default Consulting Limited, and through her leadership, the company has harnessed high-level acceptance and has been opportune to provide value-adding services to major corporate, international, and indigenous organizations, resulting in a fast-growing client base that has become an amiable fit in our evolution as a vital part of the firm's and clients' financial and economic structure advancement. She has worked as a consultant to the World Bank and Security and Exchange Commission. She is the founder of the Techie Accountants, an initiative for bridging the educational gap between finance graduates and the skills demanded in the labor market, thereby creating employment and enhancing quality professional education. She has, you can see our qualifications beneath her name: ACA, ACCA, and ACTI. Okay, she's trying to join us. She's trying to reconnect, and so she will join us shortly. So she's the brain behind this initiative that has put together this summit, and she will be giving a welcome address shortly. So what you do is when we introduce anybody, please use the chat box to welcome them, give them a warm welcome. I know it's a virtual event, and we cannot always, because if it's a physical event, when anybody is invited. So please, let's do that. Use the chat box, show your excitement that you're happy, and give them a warm welcome. So, as I said, I'm inviting Mrs. Toyin now.
Can you hear me now?
I would love us to use the chat
Yes.
box to give her a warm welcome.
You're welcome, ma.
To allow her to take over. So let me see your response. We can. Nobody's responding. Let me see your excitement in the chat box. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. So sorry about that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
About 3 different networks at my hand, and I'm surprised that I'm still having these challenges. Thank you, guys. I have the floor, so I'll just get the ball rolling. Welcome to the Techie Accountant Summit. This is the third edition. Is it third or fourth, Kemi? I think this is the fourth edition thereabout that we are having. And I will just share a little about what the Techie Accountant is all about, what drives us, why we're doing what we're doing, and why are we even gathered this evening, to have this conversation. So the Techie Accountant is, thank you guys. I can see that every one of you are welcoming me. Please, I'm not ignoring you. Razak, thank you. Ruth, thank you. Toyin, thank you. My name's Sik. Hello. Tope, thank you. Mohammed, thank you. Peter, thank you. Dr. Ruth, thank you very much. Thank you so much for welcoming me. And in case if you don't know about the Techie Accountant, I mean, probably this is your first time about hearing about the Techie Accountant. What are we all about? It's an initiative aimed at empowering finance professionals at all levels of their career through practical training, shared knowledge, and mentorship. So I'm going to pick it one after the other. How do we achieve this? Practical training, the way we do our courses or the way we administer our courses are a bit different. We try to bring practicality into what's being taught. Beyond that, also, we try to help you develop skills also that helps you to be able to, beyond taking our course, but to be able to move ahead in your career, to become the best, to get to the pinnacle of your career. And that's why, as I said, if you've attended any of our academy, you know that it's a bit tasking, but that's just the whole idea about it. Shared knowledge, we achieve that through our community. We have a web-based community whereby we put content from time to time, and we expect that people will ask their questions. I'm sure that the host will show you more about that as we progress in this event. And the last one is mentorship. And that's like what we're having with this summit today. We try to bring seasoned professionals from different parts of the world, both locally and internationally, to speak to you people. And why do we do that? If you've ever listened to me, you will know that this is something I constantly say. The internet is beautiful. The internet is has brought great change to every one of us. In fact, it's because of the internet that we're able to have this summit right now. That's why someone can connect with us from South Africa, from Kenya, from Lagos, from US, from different parts of the world. Amazing, beautiful opportunity. But at the same time, also, it has disrupted a lot of things, and especially relating to us achieving our career growth. Now, let me give more insights to that. Before now, if I'm going to ask you, who is your competition? I'm sure you say every other accountant or finance professionals in Nigeria, assuming you're resident in Nigeria. For someone that is based in South Africa, that's what you would have said. For someone that is based in Ghana, that's what you would have said. In fact, sometimes you could even streamline it to the states that you are based in, right? But now with the internet, let me tell you the sad truth. The sad truth now is that every other profession, I hope okay, I'm back. That was quick. I hope you can hear me. Please, can you hear me? I'm back.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll just continue. So every other person around the world is your competition. You know why? You don't need that physical presence. Companies right now don't need physical presence of a professional for them to fill certain roles. And don't think that this is something that will happen in the future. It is what is happening right now. We have companies that we consult for that they have their CFOs, they have their finance controllers, resident outside Nigeria, even though the company is registered in Nigeria. So the point is that this is the reality in which we live at the moment, and it's the reality everywhere in Africa. So what that means is that you cannot just develop skill, competence that fits into the market, and competence that helps you to play at a global level. As I said, is what in fact, this one is whether you like it or not. Why? Because a company resident in South Africa, if to get the job done. And what that means is that the opportunities available to professionals in a certain country continues to decrease. And you don't want to be in that spot. It's not a good spot for any professional to be in. And that's
I think she's having a bit of network issues. So we'll just exercise a little patience, and I'm sure she'll join us. Okay, like I said earlier, we're streaming on YouTube, so you can use the link shared in the chat box to invite your friends and colleagues to join us. I'm sure there will be something impactful for them in this session. The volume. Okay.
She's back.
Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for disruption. But let me round up what I'm saying so that we can get on to other things. And so, as I was saying, what that means is that whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're in Ghana, whether you're in South Africa, as far as you're a finance professional, we need to up our game. We need to develop skill and competency that can compete globally and not just locally again. And that's what the Techie Accountants is all about. That's how we talk about the technology that are changing the way we work. We talk about opportunities also that you can take advantage of. We put courses together around all this kind of technology also to empower finance professionals to ensure that they have the skill that is relevant in this age, and give them that competitive level. Now, do we have any success story regarding this? Yes, we do. I know of one of our Techie, she had taken one of our signature courses, and she did one course on data analytics for finance right now in UK, but she actually works with a company in US. They engaged her. Why? Because she had the skill, the competence that the company needed at that time. And, it created the flexibility also that she needed at that. Yes. So she created, because she's able to, she had the competence, she had the skill that was needed. She was able to get that opportunity. I've had people say that, such opportunities are only available to people that are programmers and all. Actually, it cuts across every profession. If you have the skill, if you can add value, if you can solve the problem of a company, trust me, regardless of your location right now, they will be willing to engage you. So the rhetorical question I would leave you with is that, do you have the skill and competency required for you to compete globally? Thank you very much. I'll leave you to ponder on that. I'll hand over the floor to the host of the day. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Ma. So guys, while you deal with rhetorical question, we'll get on to the next program for the day, and that is to invite our first speaker for the day. He will be talking about the digital opportunities in this digital era, especially foreign opportunities. His name is Mr. Daniel Cho. So, Mr. Daniel Cho.
Okay, so we would be inviting Mr. Busayo to take, as Mr. Daniel is not around at the moment.
Okay.
Yes, so let's invite Mr. Busayo. He's around and he can as well just read out his profile.
Okay, Mr. Busayo Moparola. You're welcome, sir. So Mr. Busayo will be talking to us about the opportunities available for finance professionals here in local space. Mr. Busayo Moparola is an experienced business, finance, and accounting leader with a demonstrated and successful history of working in different operational structures with energy and manufacturing companies. He's a skilled finance professional with 10 years in diverse finance and accounting, and he has multiple accomplishments as well in financial planning, internal controls, treasury and funding, as many other operations, finance business partnering, and financial or corporate business divisions, covering a wide spectrum of offerings portfolio. Mr. Busayo is equipped with analytical skills, leadership experience, and he also has multiple finance talent development, and he also coaches a lot of people in managing multicultural teams and people manager. You're welcome, Mr. Busayo.
Thank you very much, Oluwatosi. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you perfectly, sir.
Okay, so let's go straight to the meat of the day. For network purposes, I will switch off my video so we can just we can catch up and it doesn't hang. I know the challenges of internet connection, and then we're going to be talking about a whole lot of things. And the earlier we go into the conversation, the better. But before then, let me share my screen. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen now. Confirm you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay, please let me know as soon as you can see it.
Yes.
Yes, you can see my screen now.
Yes.
Okay, great. So the conversation of today is about how the accountants and finance professionals can benefit from what we call the digital age. And the digital age is here with us. It is live and direct. And the earlier we understand that we are there, the better for us, so that we can make the necessary changes that is required. And one of the things that you will realize is that the speed of change is fast. It's getting faster. So if you're still behind, this is time to wake up and say, hey, what is happening? But it's not so serious anyway. So yeah, digital age is basically fintech. And some of the things we'll talk about today is that we'll talk about what is fintech. We also talk about what is big data. Also, we'll talk about the advanced analytical tools, artificial intelligence and machine learning. We talk about data science, that is how do we extract information from big data. And we look at the applications that we can use for fintech in finance. And then we talk about disruption by fintech in finance. And the most important thing is how can we benefit from all these things. So here we go. What is fintech? Is anybody willing to to tell us about fintech. I want to make it as open as possible. If you know what is fintech or whatever knowledge you have about fintech, can you share with us? Hello, anybody from the audience, please feel free to unmute and have a say.
I'm not sure they can unmute, but I think they can.
They can only type on the chat box.
Okay, yeah, you can type on the chat box. Tell us, what is fintech? Okay, so we're here to learn that. All right, let me see. Is there any response in chat box? Okay, not yet. All right, since there's none, let's go on. Fintech is a combination of finance and technology. From the name, it's straightforward. You can see there's finance on one side, there's technology on the other side, and fintech is the marriage of the two. So theoretically speaking, the term fintech comes from combining finance and technology. Fintech refers to technological innovation in the design and delivery of financial products and services. Though the term fintech is relatively new, its early forms involve data processing, automation to decision making. So it's not like it's absolutely new, We started from Excel. Traditionally, when we started with finance, and it was the analog age where we had 27-column cash books and all that, and then Excel came in, and we realized if we follow um, the growth of the finance profession, you realize that a lot of jobs were lost when Excel came in. People that could not adapt, people that could not change. I'm sure some of us up to now, we have bosses that can't even use Excel. And we also have bosses that are super fantastic in the use of Excel. So some people that could not adapt to change at that time lost their jobs. And many of us, the young coming ones that were tech savvy, took their jobs. We could process a lot of information on using Excel, and we moved from there to some other technologies about programming and all that. Now we're doing data visualizations. We're going to talk about all this in the course of the lecture, of the conversation. So yeah, fintech has always been around. It's just that it is growing rapidly. And what is driving this growth? The key drivers of fintech is the growth in data. We have so much data that we can use. And when we talk about growth in data, we're talking about the volume of data and the value of the data. Now we have so much data, and then they are giving us valuable insight. The other part of it is technological advances. Technology too is not stopping the way we're having, and it's not only in finance, right? We're having technological advances in telecommunications. The phones that we're using are a whole lot smarter than what we have ever seen. In fact, it's almost impossible for you to be without your phone for 1 hour, 2 hours, not talk of a day or a week. It would be like, I don't know if you've had that experience that you left your phone somewhere and you could not have access to it till the next day, or you even lost your phone. It would be like the whole world is going to crash, And then in medicine, even in cars, even in the airline industries, we're having drones and all that. And so technology is growing everywhere. Well, how do we bring it home to finance? Because it's seriously disrupting finance. So all these things are the impacts that we're going to talk about. Okay, so the next slide is we'll talk about big data. And what is big data? So big data refers to the vast amount of data generated by industry, governments, individuals, and electronic devices. So if we see characteristics of big data on the right-hand side of the screen, we can see that there are three characteristics of big data. One of it is the data volume. I already talked about this. We're having so much data volume over the last few decades. The amount of data that we are dealing with has grown exponentially. Before, we're talking about megabytes and then gigabytes and terabytes. Now we're talking in terms of petabyte. In fact, I can't remember the last time I saw someone using an hard drive or a hard drive because I mean, what's the size of hard drive? You really won't have to store anything. So it's basically cloud because the volume of information is so high. The next thing about data, characteristics of data is the velocity. Data is now moving in very high speed, fast, really fast. In the past, we often worked with batch processing. Who can remember the time whereby if you go to a bank and you want to do a transaction, you have to go to your branch. I don't know if we can relate to that.
Very true.
Yeah, exactly. You have to go to your branch. Sometimes you might be in Abuja and your branch is in Lagos. You have to travel all the way to, and then with time, we move to periodic. That means you have to, if you do a transaction today, you have to wait till tomorrow for it to reflect. And after a while, if you send someone to the bank to go and do some deposit transaction, they will say you should wait for it to reflect in next 2 or 3 hours. But right now, we're talking about real time. So the velocity of data is increasing significantly. And the third one is the variety of data. Historically, we only dealt with structured data. However, we are now dealing with unstructured data. We're dealing with data in text, in audios, and in videos. So what are the sources of these big data? We'll talk about the sources of big data. Traditionally, we look at things like annual reports. Traditional data. We look at things like annual reports, regulatory filing, price and volume data for some of us that are doing analysis for companies in terms of maybe you're doing planning and all that. But right now, we're also looking at alternative data sources, and the alternative data sources can be classified into individual business processes and sensors. For individual data, we look at things like social medias, what people post on social medias, news, reviews. We have web searches. Those are different sources of your own personal data and all that. For business processes, we look at things like transaction data, corporate data, government agencies, NGOs. But the biggest source of data, of alternate data now, are things like satellite. You can look at, if you have access to the satellite, you can see anything happening in the world. We look at geolocation data, and things like geolocation data, like Google Maps. You want to see the road from here to wherever, maybe next 1,000 miles, you can see what's happening. If you're in Lagos and you want to see the way the traffic is in Abuja, you can log in and see POS data, CCTV data. So you can see that all this data are alternative sources of data. And traditionally, you don't even look at some of this type of data before. For instance, can you imagine having sensors that set temperature data for people in malls, inside their cars? And for if you go to a mall, for instance, let's say the popular mall in Nigeria is all those ShopRite malls. Some of the temperature vents temperature is being controlled automatically, and what it's based on programming, because it has looked at the kind of temperature people like based on the type of temperature that is outside and the number of people, and begins to maintain the temperature. Sometimes it makes it high, it makes it low. So those things are possible because of a lot of data that we have. The challenges of data, why the big data can be a huge asset, there are also several challenges. The quality of data can be questionable. The data may have biases. Sometimes it could have outliers. Some one-off events can be, like, for instance, talking about temperature of data, you could have somebody that likes extremely cold weather, even when the distant weather is cold, and you still put the AC at cold. So those would distort the way the machine reads the data. The volume of data collected may also not be sufficient. We might be dealing with too much data or too little data, and then the appropriateness of the data. But however, we cannot discount the impact of big data. So with all these data that we're talking about, how do we analyze data? We have advanced analytical tools for analyzing data. There's the artificial intelligence. And what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is computer systems that perform tasks that have traditionally required human intelligence. They exhibit cognitive and decision-making abilities comparable or superior to that of human. So an important term in the context is neural networks. And this concept of neural networks is that the computer has been designed to take in inputs, and then it tries to, the way the brain works, it's the program based on how the brain learns and perform information, and then it gives you output. And we have examples of all these around us. So for instance, let's take something like chess as an example. We have chess computer programs that can play with even the best player in the world and still beat the best player in the world. How? It was written by a human being, but what it do is that it takes simulations from different people, and then those programs are able to perform those tasks better than human beings. We also have things like digital assistants like your Siri. When your Siri will ask you, for those of you that use iPhone, your Siri will ask you, how can I help you today? And you say, I need you to play me a song that will suit my nerves. And immediately it will go online, it will go and look for a song for you. And you find that the song is actually a cool song because they have put inputs into it, and they have designed that when people want to suit their nerves, these are the type of song they listen to. Another type of analytical tool is machine learning. And this machine learning refers to computer programs. They learn how to complete tasks and predict outcome. They also improve performance over time with experience. So these techniques actually extract knowledge from large amounts of data by learning from known examples and then generating structures or predictions without relying on human help. So you can see in machine learning, you have training data set. And what the training data set does is that we give the machine input, and we tell it that, okay, when you have this type of inputs, this is what happens, and then you have this type of output. And then later we'll do a validation to test those things, that if this input is this and this is that, then this must be the output. And you set up all those validation, and then you have testing set. So just to determine the accuracy of the model. So this is an advanced analytical tool that helps to work independent. I'm just trying to tell us the difference between artificial intelligence and machine intelligence. Artificial intelligence is something that is being structured all the way, but machine learning has the capacity to, on its own, even set rules. And we can see the approaches to machine learning. There is supervised learning, and in supervised learning, where the machine is being told exactly what the rules are. Both inputs and outputs are identified and labeled. And after learning from data labels, the trained algorithm is used to predict outcomes for new data set. For example, let's say you have they can give you 10 variables. Let's say you're an accountant for a company, and then you are planning the budget of the company for the next 5 years or for the next 1 year. And normally when you're planning budget, you start with sales and volume and prices. So for sales, volume, and price, they can give you 10 variables that drive both sales, volume, and prices. For instance, they can give you the inflation rate, can have the exchange rate, you can have things like the weather conditions. You can talk about government policy. You can talk about security situation. And those things affect prices of goods and services and the volume that people buy, and competitor analysis. So for supervised learning, when they give you those variables, they can tell you that, okay, when this variable goes up, then these other variables, the sales will increase or reduce and price, and they can do it for the 10 of them. That's for supervised learning. But for unsupervised learning, the inputs and output variables are not labeled, that this one drives this one up, this one drives that one up. Here, what the machine learning algorithm does is to seek out the relationship on its own, and then it's able to predict those things, and on its own, it will say, okay, I've noticed that when this goes up, this one comes down. So that's the benefit of unsupervised learning, because the machine has been trained up to a point that it can predict those things on its own. So with terms like AI and machine learning, one might think that human judgment is no longer required. For us accountants, might be scared that we'll lose our jobs. But that is far from true. No, for machine learning to work well, human judgment is actually required for questions like which data to use, how much data do you use, and that is where we come in, which analytical tools are relevant in the given context. Human judgment may also be needed to clean and filter the data before it is fed to the machine algorithm. So, but we have some challenges about all these things, and the challenge is that there could be overfitting data or overtrained model. So sometimes an algorithm may try to be too precise in the way it interprets data and predicts outcome. This will lead to overtrained models. In finance, they call it data mining bias. And data mining bias is that you're trying to establish a relationship in a model, and then you try and mine and mine and mine. If you know regression analysis, most time you try and look for the line of best fit. But sometimes there could be no correlation within them. And what you do is that you keep trying to force to look for relationship until you get one. And that could lead to what is also called a black box, which means that we have predictions that are not very easy to understand, or that are not effective to understand. Hello, please feel free to send me a chat. Let me see. I hope I'm not talking to myself. Okay, you'll be giving. Okay, I'm just trying to look at.
No, we are not.
Okay, okay, you are all with me, right? Okay, I noticed.
Yes, so we are following exactly, because they are saying so many things.
Okay.
So we need.
Yeah, I think I'm being too fast. I'm just trying to get all the let me call it the official things out of the way. Let's have a foundation. Let's not get too hung up. It's not as serious as it sounds. But at least let's have an idea of what is happening in the tech world, and then we'll come to place where we can have serious conversations on this.
Information you're pouring out is fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Information you're pouring out is fantastic. Kudos.
Fantastic.
Okay. Someone wants more light on black box and overfitted model. Okay. So sometimes an algorithm may try to be too precise. You understand? It wants to just establish a relationship. Sometimes there might not be a relationship, but the machine might not have been programmed to do that. For instance, normally when the weather is hot, people will prefer tea to ice cream. You understand? But during hot weather, you now see somebody drinking tea. The machine will try and look for a relationship that, okay, maybe the person is black or is white. You understand? Is he wearing a singlet or is wearing a suit? You'll be trying to look for something to explain. It might just be his preference. It might be that there is no ice cream. You understand that it's only tea that is available. It might be that he has some medical condition. The machine will try and look for and predict a situation. Okay, so that's overfitting the data. It's trying to make sure that there is a relationship, even where there is no relationship. Sometimes when there is no relationship in finance, it's called it correlation, spurious correlation. There's really no relationship, but it looks like every time it's just like, let's say you're a football fan and you watch football. You say anytime you wear a black cap, Super Eagles win their match. Maybe because that's happened 2 or 3 times. It could just be by chance, but So anytime Super Eagles wants to play, and that's what people call what they call those things again. There's something they call those people have superstitions and all those things, or fetish and all that about how they go about doing things. So the system will just try and set a relationship where there is none. And black box is machine learning technique that which tries to predict things that are not very easy to understand. So you have the machine might predict that, okay, when the weather is cold, but the person is a white man and is coming from Lagos and is wearing a singlet and with a red trouser and is driving a Mercedes Benz and is married to a black lady, then the person is going to be drinking tea instead of, when the weather is hot, it's going to be drinking tea instead of licking ice cream. So those kind of outputs are difficult to understand. So I hope we're clear with that. Okay, so to move on, we'll now talk about data science, because this is where we're actually going to. And what is data science? It's about extracting information from big data. You don't have to bother about this data, to be honest. The data is available everywhere. Okay, so data science is an interdisciplinary field that leverages advances in computer science, in statistics, other disciplines including biology, medicine, racing, sports, for the purpose of extracting information from big data. And how do you extract information from big data? So the data processing methods are basically you have to capture the data. That's the first one. So data capture refers to how data is collected from various sources and transferred into the formats that can be used by the system. And by formats, we mean things like Word, Excel, PDF, text files, web files, videos. You capture data from CCTV as well, from sensor and all that. And then we have to cure the data. And that's where most of the work goes in. Data curation. They also call it, there's another word for it, another word for data curation. Another word for data curation is data cleansing. That's the proper word that we have. And this refers to the process of ensuring that data quality and accuracy are clean enough. And then we have to store the data, how we are recorded, they're archived, how do we access them, the database design, and all that. An important consideration in data storage is whether the data is structured and unstructured. We also need to be concerned whether the analytical tools need real-time access to data or not. And then search data refers to how we can find what we want from the vast amount of data. We have search tools like Google and Google Maps and all those things that allow us to have access to data. And then you have to transfer data. So if we talk about data visualization, this is another aspect of data science. This refers to how the data will ultimately be presented to the user or by the analyst. Data visualization can happen through graphs and charts, but in more recent times, we're beginning to see tools like heat maps, tree diagrams, Tag Cloud. And what you can see here is Tag Cloud. Tag Cloud is the more recent things that we're seeing. Like how many of you have seen Tag Cloud in one or two of your experiences? Maybe you go somewhere and they say, how are you feeling today? Everybody should say how they are feeling. And then the ones that has the most number of this thing gets the bigger amount. So usually the big, like where you see the big, the data, maybe you have more people talking about those things. And these are things that we use to visualize data so that for decision making, someone that wants to make a decision can just see the bigger items and pick the top 5. You don't need to start doing sorting, filtering, and all those things. Like for heat maps, when you use Google Maps, you see the heat maps that shows the flow of traffic, where there's congestion, and all that. So heat maps in city roads with high traffic congestions are shown in red. So a tag cloud is also usually used for textual data. So these are what we're talking about. I've been able to take our mind away from finance and taking our mind to IT and to see the possibilities that we have. And then now we're going to talk about disruptions by finance and tech. And one of the things that big data and fintech has done for us is that it has changed the narrative. It has caused disruptions. So we have payment apps like PayPal, Zipal, Cash App that makes international payment very easy and instant. And what people has done is to move away from financial institutions, all those big banks, and move to their mobile devices. I mean, sometimes I could spend 6 months, even a year, without going to the bank. I do everything on my phone, and I do even more transactions than people that visit the bank every day. So text analytics and natural language processing, the use of computer programs to derive meaning from large unstructured text and all that. Based on this analysis, we can determine if the sentiment is very positive. So this is something like Tad Cloud itself, but this is also useful for companies, organizations that are launching new products. When you launch a new product in your organization, you can allow people to comment. People comment on social media, people comment on YouTube, people comment on the sessions like this, and the machine will begin to analyze the comments to see whether they are positive or negative or neutral. Or your services, you're a consultant and you render tax services to your clients, and then you say, please, what are your feedback? Or almost immediately now, when you do transactions with an organization, either you go to the hospital or you go to the bank or you go to wherever you go to, immediately you get to like 30 minutes or 1 hour, you get a mail that or you make a call to the contact center. They will just send you a mail to give them feedback. That what's our feedback? So sometimes we feel like this feedback, do they really read it? Yes, but it's not a human being that reads it, it's a machine that reads it. And what the machine does is that the machine extracts the important words from the feedback. So it goes back to what I call the tag cloud. The machine will extract the bigger words that I'm using. I'm satisfied, I'm happy, not happy, irritated, it was slow, all this. So it will just present the information in a big cloud like, and then they can be able to drill down and actually pick the actual customer that was affected and the actual transaction and try and get back to you. So this is instead of employing somebody to sit down and read all those feedback, they're able to, and it happens in financial services as well. And then we'll talk about robo advisory service. So this refers to providing an advisory solution through online platform. They'll tell you these are line, call our line, and the line will say, okay, thank you for calling so and so. Please, what can I do for you? If it's so and so, please press 1, please press 2, please press 3. And sometimes it will even be asking you questions like when you're able to pick the service, say, what is the nature of your business? Are you a limited company? Or you're an enterprise? What is your staff strength? What is this? What is your tax rate? What industry? And you find that in 15 minutes, you can give all that information to this thing, and it will say we'll get back to you. So the consultant that is coming to meet you already knows your business. He's not trying to come and settle down and say, okay, what kind of business? No, he's coming with ready-made solutions and all that. So you can see how we're able to use fintech in our finance this thing. So also you have personal finance apps such as Mint, Yap, Quickins that lets you see your finances in one place, your budget. In fact, most banking platforms now have a finance app where you can see the analysis of your expenses. Okay, so I think we're coming to the more interactive session. So I will just I'll put my video on. Okay, so most banking apps now allows you to see the way your expenses are being done. You see the items because they say if you want to tell a man's story, that if you want to tell a man the story of a man's life, that you should look at his bank statement, and that is absolutely true. That's why most times when you apply for a loan or financing in the bank or financial institution, they'll say you should give us your 6 months bank statement. In as much as one see the level of transaction, they also will be able to analyze your lifestyle. They know the things you spend money on, the people you transfer money to, the points where you spend money, your spending pattern. Are you the type that use ATM a lot, or you are the ones that use POS a lot? What are you paying for? Where are you paying for? Where do you go to? What times do you spend? So these apps can give you all these things. It can also help you budget and even pay bills on your behalf before they are due. And then in insurance, this also helps because with enough data now, when you're in the insurance space, because one of the challenges that the insurance industry have is that they are not able to exactly profile their clients the way they are. For instance, when you look at a car insurance, you might be the type that just drive out in the morning and come back in the evening. Meanwhile, some other people go to like 10 places a day. They are more business oriented. They are those people that are more business oriented has more chances of being involved in an accident because you might visit 10 clients a day and even still go out at night to maintain business contact compared to the person that just drives in the morning when there's a lot of traffic. Because when there's traffic, the chances of having serious accidents is limited because you cannot run. And you come back home in the evening when the chances are low. Now, with this kind of data, devices that in your phone can or in your car can show your normal traffic movement, and you don't have to pay the same car insurance rate as the person that does business. And then you have crypto too. Crypto is a whole big subject also, the digital ledger technologies. I wanted to include it in this presentation, but I think it's going to be too much and I don't want to tie us down. So hopefully when we're having another connect, definitely from Techie Accountant Institute, just be sure that we're going to bring you enough information on crypto, including should you invest, non-invest. So these are the things that you can see how technology has changed the way things finance are being done. It's becoming more effective. You're having more information. Are able to do a whole lot more than you otherwise would do. So how can we get value from all this? As in to drive it home, how can we get value from this? So the technology coming to finance is changing what we do and how we do it. We would need to acquire new skills, definitely, to interact with technology in new ways and be willing to make change to deliver technology. If you look at the first part of the slide, disruption by finance, by fintech in finance, it shows you the entrepreneurial part of it. Like if you really want to explore what, and that's why I think we should be thinking about how can we use technology because we're finance. The finance bit is there. It's not going to change. We already know what our cash flow statement is. We already know what our P&L is. We already know what our statement of financial position and value adding, you know how to do forecasting and all that. But how do we use technology now to leverage on that? And the good thing about it is that the technological guys are probably never going to know those things. Because the way IT is evolving and all that, they won't know accounting. They still always need accountants but we accountants can easily move to the tech space and learn technology and apply it in our own entrepreneurial venture, or even for the clients that will support their business needs and our companies that, because I look at it as a finance professional, whether you're employed or you have consult for a client, you are a service provider. Okay. The company that you work for, they have changed, their needs are going to be changing dramatically. The normal payments and receivables accounting you do for them will become obsolete because the system can do all that for them. I even give them analysis of where people are paying from and who is paying from this and all that. So you find that the business need is going to change. And then your client's needs, the client that you support, their own needs are also going to be changed. And for you to support them, you need to be ahead of them. And so some of the key skills that we'll need to get is we need to get programming skills. And popular programming skills include Java, C++, Python, and Ruby. I'm not saying you should immerse yourself and become a programmer. No, you are an accountant, but we need to familiarize ourselves with these things. And the easy way of doing these things is Techie accountants can provide the platform for us to learn all these things. These finance skills, the programming skills. Sometimes you can check them on YouTube, you can read up about them, you can go for the course, you can enroll and then get abreast of all this. Cybersecurity, which is study of how to protect fintech companies, because all these things are based on online. You know, when was the last time you actually got a virus on your laptop or something? Viruses are no longer popular because when there's a virus on your laptop, the only thing they take is information, or worst case, you can't buy a new laptop. But for all these bigger companies that are into tech, they are constantly attacking their sites with millions of money. Some has billions of dollars in cryptocurrency. They are able to, so cybersecurity has become something that is in high demand, and you can also get knowledge in that field. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science. Having a basic understanding of data science is good, and Techie Accountant is also going to be providing us courses on data science. Things like Power BI, how to use Power BI and Tableau, and also to do presentation, visualizations, things that should be a default. I mean, if you don't know how to use those things now, I think you should just immediately after this call, just go and enroll and then learn how to use those things, because you are an endangered species, to be honest. If you cannot make visualizations or you cannot interpret visualization for this thing, the accounting doesn't just cut it anymore. You need to be able to do so. You need to learn data science, and then there's blockchain. So having at least the working knowledge of blockchain. And to be honest with you, all these things, I'm not saying you should actually be the one. No, a professional accountant, I don't expect you to start programming, but at least you should be able to interpret a program. You should be able to know what the programmer is doing. You should be able to know the tools that are required. If you don't learn about data science, how do you know the kind of tools that are required to help your clients or to help your business? Or your business say, your MD calls you and say, Toasting, I learned that there are some new analytical tools in town now that we can use to watch our sales on a real-time basis and location and all that. Please, which software should we get and what kind of training are required? And you say, I don't know the software. Say, no, immediately you should be ahead of that conversation. Yes, that in fact, you should be the one pushing it, driving it. And the thing about technology is that it creates an advantage. So this also creates an advantage to be at the forefront of growth. In the company I work for, you must every year, at the end of the year, you must come with something and say, I've done some innovation. If not, there's no growth, and you had the threat of being extinct. Every year you have to come up and say, when you're doing performance management, you have to defend your performance. And the biggest conversation in that thing is innovation. What innovation have you brought to the table? It's not enough. Yes, you did your work. Yes, you achieved 100% of the target we set. You delivered reports on time. You reduced costs. You monitor the project. You provided, say, okay, what's new? And it's a very valid conversation. And why is it a valid conversation? The cars we're using 20 years ago are not the cars we're using now. Because why? There's constant innovation. There are always newer things. They say we only use about 10% of our brain capacity. And science has been looking at how are we able to maximize our brain capacity. And so that should be it too. The phones that we use now are a lot smarter than we were using 5 years ago. Why? Because some people were not comfortable with what we had. Some of the phones we have now, you'll be wondering what next can it do. But they will bring it out and say, wow, even a phone can do this. So we should not be comfortable with this conversation. To add value to our clients and to our businesses, we need to always think, how do we innovate? And guess what? FinTech gives you the exact opportunity to do that within your organization and among your clients. You can always bring the values that technology is bringing. And I think my time is up. And so that's it. Do we have any questions from?
Yes, we have questions, but we'll take it later.
Okay.
Please, if you don't mind, it's in the Q&A box, so you can just go through them. But we'll attend to them later. We want to take all the questions at once. So please hang in with us. And yes, thank you very much. That was such a detailed class. By the way, he loves to lecture. In case you are wondering why he gave you so much information, he's a born lecturer. He likes to teach, and he's good at it. And he's good at it, guys. I hope you're enjoying the class. I can see that the numbers are not dropping, so I'm taking that as you're enjoying the class. So thank you guys for hanging in there. But please try and use the chat box more. It's a virtual event, and it helps the speaker to know that you're following and you're listening to everything that is being said as well. So guys, please, let's take note of that. Okay, I am told that our second speaker is around, but before we give him the floor, I think we have some few things to do. Tosi. So
yes. Thank you very much. The next thing on our agenda right now is testimonials from the Techy Accountants Season 8 participants who are also passing out today. And the first person that is sharing the testimonial with us is Peace, Idara Claire. So Idara Claire, can you share your testimonial?
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, you're welcome.
Can you all hear me?
Perfectly, you can go on.
Okay. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Before Foundation, Techy Accountant. I got to know about, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Idara Kanya. I'm a final year student of the University of Nigeria, and I'm also a qualified chartered accountant. I got to know about the Techy Accountants Academy in April this year, on Instagram. At that point, I was writing my professional exam, the last one, and I was a bit confused because I was thinking ahead. So to say, I wanted to know how exactly these things I'm learning in school and in my professional examinations, how I'll be able to use them to actually work and provide value for people around me. And so when I saw the tech accountant, I was actually amazed and I was also curious. So I did my research and I found out that okay, this could actually give me, or this session or this academy could actually give me what I wanted. So I joined, and honestly, it has been more than what I envisioned for myself. My major aim coming here was to dig deeper into the profession, practically, internationally, and and in any other way. So when I came here, I've been able to, see practical accounting things and even beyond. Like I've even been exposed to tech a lot, something that I was so closed-minded about. And during the course of the mentorship sessions and the life lessons, I've been exposed to tech, and I can actually say that I have picked an interest in technology as I'm speaking to you right now. And I just want to say I couldn't have done that without, going through this process, going through the mentorship session, the classes. Oh, the mentorship sessions were amazing. I don't think I ever missed anyone. I don't think so, because they were so insightful and so educative, and I really, really enjoyed each and every mentorship session I ever participated in. So I just want to say thank you, Mrs. Twain, for this beautiful vision you had. It is a beautiful vision, and we hope that one day those of us who went through this process will one day come out to support you in the little way that we can. And I also want to say thank you to the Lipo Foundation, to Kemi, to Oluwatosin for just being our guide and all our mentors. Thank you so very much. I am very, very grateful for this opportunity. And I pray that you do well and God blesses you. Amen. Thank you.
You're welcome, Dara. That was a wonderful session.
Thank you
you
so
very
much.
much.
I wanted to ask a few questions though, Idara. So can you tell us which was your favorite mentoring session?
I can't pick one. I would say the very first mentorship session, I can't remember her name right now. She talked about
Okay.
networking and it really opened my eyes a lot. And then there was a mentorship session by Miss Michelle from
Okay.
Deloitte UK. And then a mentorship session from Mrs. Twain too. All the mentorship sessions I've ever done, always wonderful, always insightful. Even Mr. Tunde, everything is good. It's thorough. I can't pick one, but they've been beautiful. They've been wonderful.
Yeah, I think he's talking about Mrs. Omawumi. Mrs. Omawumi Akinwande.
Yes, the one. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for that brief testimonial about your time at the academy. We really appreciate you, and we hope that as you leave the academy officially, you finish today, you continue to fly the flag and show the world that you're a techie accountant.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
We can progress.
Yes, so the next thing on our agenda is the award session. That's next thing on our agenda. Some of our participants in Techie Accountant Academy for season 8 have shown outstanding personalities during the program, and we would like to appreciate them one way or the other. Majority of them actually did well. It wasn't easy picking, but we just had to pick few out of them. And so we'd like to present an award to few people that stood out during the academy. And yeah, the first award here we have is the award for the most punctual goes to Peace Omolola. Congratulations, Peace.
Please clap for Peace.
Please appreciate her. It's not been easy. It's been over 3 months having to join. Yes.
Every day, every weekend for the past 3 months.
Yes. So I think that's a lot. So Peace, congratulations on this award. And we hope this passion that you have, you continue to use it for better things ahead for the future. Congratulations, Peace. So the second award here goes to, this is for most engaging, one of the most engaging participants during the sessions. Yes, this goes to Abisola Ladipo. Abisola Ladipo, congratulations. Guys, please congratulate her. It's not easy. Congratulations, Abisola Ladipo. Yes, so we'll come back to the rest of the award session later. Briefly, we would like to talk about the Techie Accountant courses. So majorly, first and foremost, talk about Techie Accountant Academy, which I think Kemi has done a lot of talking earlier. So just briefly talk about the Techie Accountants. The Techie Accountants is a global initiative aimed at empowering finance professionals at all levels of their career through practical learning, shared knowledge, and cutting-edge mentoring as well. And we do this through the Techie Accountant Academy. We also have the Techie Accountant community, and then the Techie Accountant Summit, as well as IR for Africa. Then we have the Techie Accountant course. This is for graduates and working professionals that are looking up to enhance their accounting and finance skills. And this is 3 months, and which is one we are doing the passing out ceremony for today. It's 3 months, and commitment fee is 30,000 naira. This is actually a highly discounted fee that major fee has been covered by the LIFO Foundation. And then we have the payroll management course. This is a course suitable for individuals, which is in accountants, administrators, HR personnel, even people that studied courses like economics, administrative payroll function, in-house or managing providers of payroll services when outsourced. It is also for graduates looking to enhance their skills to have an edge over other applicants in the industry. So this course duration is just for a day, and the training fee is 10,000 naira precisely. And then we have the tax consultant course. This is an intense and practical-oriented training to upskill tax professionals, competence, or those looking to launch into the finance career. Duration is 1 month, and training fee is 30,000 naira. We have the data analytics course, which will be coming up soon. This course deals with understanding and analyzing financial data, which is an important skill for every modern accountant. This course will help to meet the growing demand for finance professionals with big data skills, deliver data-driven insights, and also drive organizational growth. This course will teach you why, when, and how to apply financial analytics in real-world situation. I think this data analytics is one of the things, as Mr. Busayo mentioned when he was talking about the fintech opportunities for accountants. Yes, and so we have so many other courses. If you go to our website on Techy Accountant Community, you can register for any of our other courses that will be helpful to you in your career. So that's all about Techy Accountant course. Thank you very much. So the next thing on our agenda now is to talk about Mr. Daniel, which is our next speaker that'll be coming on board. You're welcome, Mr. Daniel.
Hello, I'm not sure it's a good morning or good afternoon for you. I apologize, I missed my session because my time zone is in the Eastern Standard Time. So my computer is not adjusting for the time, but thank you for that email to remind me I'm late.
Oh, it's fine. You're welcome. Let me briefly introduce Mr. Daniel Chu. Mr. Daniel Chu is a finance executive with over 20 years of experience in achieving results, motivating people, building and executing strategies in utility, banking, property management, and manufacturing industries. Mr. Daniel is in senior roles in Energy, LP, Toronto Hydro, BLJC, and Elmbridge. He has provided both the strategic vision and tactical execution that has built new processes, as well as new teams from scratch. He has helped to re-engineer and improve underperforming operations, and he has also helped to create financial models and processes that are cost efficient and committed to the highest levels of quality. Mr. Daniel Chu is there and he'll be telling us about the opportunities for finance professionals especially in foreign sector. You're welcome, Mr. Daniel.
Please,
thank you.
Before you hand over to Mr. Daniel Chow, and I think his pronunciation is Chow, right?
Is it Chow?
Daniel, am I correct? Yes, it is.
Either way, like it depends on like which dialogue you speak in Chinese. Because my name when they speak in one dialect is Chow, and when they speak in another dialect, they will say Chu. So I think for
They're both correct.
Either way, I know you are talking about me, so I will aware that.
But it's good to connect with you again. It's been a while. Good to see you again.
Well, it's very nice to join this one. I think my last section with Tech, the Leaford Foundation is about 3 years ago. Yeah, there was a very, I would say, opening discussion and open my horizon to the other side of the world. I lived in Toronto, Canada for many years. I grew up in Hong Kong, so I have the culture from the Eastern and the Western. But when you come to Toronto, it's a multicultural country. So we have people from all the backgrounds, like Africa. I have a lot of friends that are from Africa. One of my best friend, she is the executive director of a nonprofit organization for the HIV and AIDS research. And actually, we have a connection with 15 organizations in Africa. They support the HIV research. But we also have people from China, from India, from Pakistan, all over the world. And here, we make ourselves home, and also we try to help each other to build a career in this country, because we very value the skills, cultural, and perspective from different people from different background. I think it's one mistake happen in most of the offices. We need to have a single voice, because the boss says so everybody follow. But at the same time, the organization will come to a limit very fast. because they do not have a different perspective and understand what the customers need, right? I think like since like a pandemic in the last 2 years, the world shut down. We just opened our door in April, so we slowly go back to our normal life, but we still have a lot of restriction on traveling, on the medical restrictions, to the place we want to go, to the thing we want to do. So hopefully this boundary will remove soon. Also, like we have seen a lot of new developments in the business world since the pandemic. I would say like that development, a lot of things has been growing, building, but the pandemic accelerates a lot of things to a point. See, for example, like 3 years ago, I worked for an organization. They always say like work from home is not an option. So they did not encourage the staff to work from home because they're afraid the staff is not productive, or like there was something like happened behind the scene. The supervisor, manager did not understand. But since pandemic, everybody needs to work from home. So now that requirement, like a work from home is not an option, become a totally option. And also like we need to acquire new skills to work online on a virtual environment. I would say 3 years ago, I wasn't quite comfortable to sit in front of a camera and talk and try to conduct a meeting, monitoring work, do my presentation. But today, like it's a part of my day-to-day life, right? So a lot of things is developing at a much faster pace, okay? And we have seen the world have been changing from a paper currency to digital currencies. The stock market change from a very high accelerator go up. Now they have a correction or even like go to another side of the chart. Also like interest rates rising and causing a lot of housing bubbles become a problem because the housing price in North America, in a lot of places in Asia, in North America, they go up unbelievable, right? So I do not know much about the African country, but I do look at our friendship and our connection to be something I look forward to build stronger and in more personal terms. Hopefully one day I can visit the African country and see each one of you in person.
That would be great. We look forward to that.
Hello, I cannot hear anything.
Oh, but we can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah.
I can hear you too.
Okay. Now, for this speaker section, I would like to say like something I would like to share my past, because I don't call myself a successful professional because I still have a lot of things I want to achieve, have not achieved yet. But I think like the experience I'm going to share would help you to understand like what kind of challenges you may experience. Okay, because we always learn from the seniors, not because like they do better, but you want to look at like what kind of mistakes they make, and then you know that like I can avoid by doing something else. So they give you another opportunity to grow faster, to accelerate in the career faster. So I would like to see my past. I will start from the education. Okay, I always love to read books. I love to learn, but my school mark was very bad, because I barely passed exams, but my classmates like me, my teachers like me because I always like active, like in sense of humor, but I never achieved like a good exam grade. So what does it mean to me? So I cannot go to good university. I cannot go to become a professional. So my path is longer, but at the same time, my interest in other areas didn't waste because I have a more perspective, a more experience in other areas. Say like when I work with other people in my career path, um, I can share something that like they never think of, because the sales department people only focus on sales. They don't only know how the customer reacts, how to do advertising. Accounting people, they always like care about the month end, year end audit process. So the scope are quite narrow. But when you have a more interest, a broader perspective or experience in other areas, they bring those new insights to the business. So you help yourself to be creative, and also to bring your new energy to your team, to your company. So I think like this is something I would say, although maybe I waste the time to learn more, but at the same time, like now my learn more scenario helped me to contribute something very different to my team, and contribute very different to connect to other people. Okay. Now, from my learning in school to the way to the direction I want to do. Now, since the childhood, I always want to be accountant, believe it or not. The reason I want to be accountant, I wasn't quite sure, but I think I started to see when a accountant was counting money, counting cash. I thought like, okay, accountant can make a lot of money because they have a lot of money okay, in front of them, they can count it. So I say like, I want to be accountant because I want to be rich. Want to have a lot of money. But then when I start to learn more and more about accounting, I find like this is not about money. It's not, the money doesn't belong to me. It's my boss, it's the company, it's other people's money. But I still fall in love in accounting because accounting is the best education. I would say like compared to many other disciplines, engineering or medical. Of course, they are their own professional, but you want to be in business. Accounting is the best education because you will learn a lot of things from end to end of the business operations, because all the information you collect, okay, will translate into a number, translate into a dollar. And then like you have to understand where the dollars come from, where's the dollar go. Okay. Now this is like, I would say like on a bookkeeper level, you learn about collecting the numbers, booking the journal entries, and do whatever the accounting required. But when you move on to a professional level, okay, you need to understand more why it happened this way, or what you can do to make the business improve. Okay, when you move on to the leadership level, you will need to see like to lead your team from this position or this situation and move on to the next situations. Because when you become a leader, okay, you're not only working, you're leading. When a business run day to day, okay, they have their process operation. But in order to survive in the business, okay, there's always need to move on. They have new ideas, better serviced, and also like managing the financing. So as a leader in the financial industry, okay, how do you position yourself to become a leader? How do you train yourself to be a leader? So a lot of things is outside the accounting syllabus. When you go to school to learn accounting, when you write your accounting destinations, so you will learn a lot of technical stuff. But how do you look beyond the technical stuff and become part of your career? Okay. Now, say for example, okay, when you become a leader, you need to work with people. You have a large team report to you. You have competition. You have your boss or the board of directors you need to report to. So now you're not only managing the technical side of your business, of your professional, you're managing people. You're managing a business. You need to understand how the people behave. You need to negotiate. So all those become a very unique skills in your life. Now, a lot of people call those skills as soft skills. Okay, because like you cannot learn from the textbook, but you can learn from observation. You can learn from reading the books and try to apply it. Now, when I remember like when I start my career, I was very shy, naive, or sometimes like very intrinsic, like so hesitate to bring my ideas up. And one day I say like, I want to change those. So what can I do? There's a lot of books in the market, but I don't have time to read because I'm so busy. So and then I look at my time. So every day I spend about 2 hours driving on the road, 1 hour to go to office and 1 hour to come back to work. So that 2 hours, how do I use it? Because besides driving, I listen to the radio. Sometimes I listen to the CD or listen to the music. That's it. So and then I think like, can I download the books from the library? Because there's a lot of books like in audio formats. Can I download the books in the library? So and then I can drive and listen. And then I investigate like how I do it. And then now they connect to my car. So every time I drive to work, okay, I spend 2 hours to listen. Of course, like reading a book and listening to a book are different because the pace, the depth, and the content you're capturing in a different way. But a lot of time, like when you listen, you start to changing your perspective. Oh, this is idea. This is something like the people do. This is something I can do as well. This is how the people behave. This is what the research said. So all the things start to accumulate. After 2 years, 3 years, I find like my approach of doing things change. Because now I know it's not the way I want to do. It's the way that the flow, other people, other side of the table want to do. So now I can predict, anticipate, and negotiate a better term to my career. So that experience, I think, is a life-changing experience to me. Besides all the technical skills I have, I have more skills compared to other accountants now. So remember, like your time spent every day. So how do you use it? Do you make every minute of your time productive? Even you want to go to sleep, you want to make your sleep productive. So don't put your burden or worry or stress to go to your sleep because you cannot sleep well. So next morning you cannot be productive. So try to plan, look at your day-to-day schedule. Okay, you don't want to overload yourself with just work or overload yourself with just learning. You want to find a balance because our health is not that easy to negotiate. Okay, you have to have a balance of life in order to achieve the optimal health status. So when you have the health, you have the treasure. Otherwise, like you don't have the health, you're sick all the time. Even you want to do something, you can't because your health does not allow you to do that. Okay. Now, when I become a professional, okay, and also become a leader, so this means like I have achieved the thing I want to do. I would say that not quite yet, because the world is moving forward very fast. About 6-7 years ago, the ACCA research talked about what contribute to a successful accountant in 21st century. So I think like I have most of them at that time. And then I look at like what do I need to learn? I find like something like in the industry I'm moving very fast. Like one is the blockchain technology. Blockchain technology like now I think is a very common in business practice these days because I have been dealing with the blockchain operation like for a while. They're changing the whole perspective of the business landscape. How the connection of information, how to verify the information, how to collect information, everything changed because of blockchain. So maybe like when you prepare your next career, you want to look forward to see like, what should I learn to prepare for the future? Now, a lot of time, like we know we have a lot of things to learn, but we are not quite sure like what is the requirements from the employer? What is the requirement from the market? Now, one suggestion I would like to make is look at a job description you want for the jobs you want to apply. You want to apply the manager job in accounting. So look at like those big companies or bank or whatever, like the industry you want to work for. Look at the requirement for an accounting manager or a finance manager. The description will tell you some idea like what is the company looking for at that moment. And then like you can also go to some professional accounting magazines and see like what they talk about. So they have done a lot of research for the future. So they help the students to prepare for the future. You don't want to get behind on the technology or the technical knowledge, because the thing you learn today will expire in 3 to 5 years, could be sooner. But the knowledge you acquire today, they won't expire. The knowledge I mean is to learn how to learn. Because when we go through all those like a learning experience, it's not something that we want to read the books, read the textbook, and go to exam and pass the exams. It's not the purpose of learning. The purpose of learning is to learn how to learn. Because at one day when you can become a professional, nobody can really teach you anything. You need to develop your learning habits, learning strategy to learn something new that nobody can teach you. So that would make yourself ahead of a lot of people, because a lot of people are waiting for things to happen. But when you have developed the ability to learn how to learn, okay, you will pick up the information, the new information, new knowledge ahead of other people. That will give you the edge in your company, in your team, or even like in the industry. Now, let me give you an example about in one of my earlier career. So at that time, like a database is pretty new, not totally new, but they have been in the market for about 10 to 20 years. But still, like a lot of company are not moved to the ERP platform or database platform at that time. So the department I work for, okay, is a marketing department. They do a lot of sales. So I was the only finance person in that department. So they talk about to upgrade their current system to a new database system, which is the Oracle database system. So I said, well, it's kind of interesting because I always like spreadsheet and database. So I went to a bookstore. It's a very large bookstore in Toronto at that time. So they have thousands and thousands of books. A lot of people just went to the bookstore to read without paying any books. So every lunchtime and after work, I went to that bookstore and started to read all the Oracle database book, although I have not much idea what happened. Because those terms and all kind of things is new to me. So, but I keep reading, and hopefully, like I can get some idea how to work. And then when the company implement the system, everything happened as predicted. They have a lot of problems because when they try to transfer one system to the other system, so a lot of things they are not quite sure. A lot of things why they happen this way. So I volunteer myself, like I say I can help, although I wasn't quite sure what I'm saying, but I say I can help. So my manager say, okay, so go ahead and do it because nobody else in the company can do it. My team can do it because they have no idea what's going on. So I start to apply the thing I read in those Oracle books and try to diagnose what happened. And then I fix the problems. Okay, so the problem basically is very simple, but nobody know what happened. So my boss say like, this is wonderful. So now you have the room sitting there and you have your own team to work for you. So my career starts from an analyst to be a supervisor, and then from a supervisor to a manager, right? So because my initiative to myself that I want to prepare myself for that change in the business, I was ahead of other people. So that would give me the edge. And also I create my own opportunities. So think about what you're doing for yourself today. Are you creating your own opportunity? And are you waiting for other people to give you opportunities? You're learning a lot of things, and learning is much easier today because like we have a lot of technology to help to learn. So the cost of learning is cheaper too. So how do you pick up the learning strategy, learning ability is up to you. How to develop your learning and how to learn new things is also up to you. Okay. Now, I think like when it comes to today, okay, we're sitting in one room. You want to learn a lot from me, but I would say like it's not from me, it's from you, because you are observing what happened to you and observing what other people seems to have a better experience in the business, better experience in the career. You learn from them to see what they do to make this career excel and ahead of you. You want to learn from those people, and then they will have from those, like of course, like a lot of people keep it as a secret, but it's up to you to learn those secrets and observe how they do it, and then you have to do it instead of waiting for other people to give you opportunity. You have to create your own opportunities. Okay. Now I think I'm talking too much now. Maybe like I pass it back to the speaker and see like any questions or anything like you want
Yeah.
my input.
Yes, thank you very much. I think Kemi was just about to take over as well. Yes, because I have I believe other people have questions as well, but I have questions for you as well. Someone is saying that the volume is low. I'm not sure if it's from our end. I think, can you all hear me clearly, please? Let's be certain. Because someone is saying that the volume is low. Okay, that's fine. I think I want to ask you a question, Daniel. This is based on our conversation. I know that you are part of the finance professionals that I know that are playing in the new, the new opportunities that are available to finance professionals, especially in this digital era. I remember that we've once talked about, you mentioned about smart contracts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yes, how you utilize that and how you help your clients, how you help your clients to use this technology, or how you use this technology to serve your clients as well. I thought you could share more light on that. It's possible that there are some people here that have never even heard about smart contracts. And I believe that these are part of the opportunities that are out there, especially in the international space that finance professionals could take advantage of. So if you can quickly just say something to that. Thank you.
Okay. Now smart contracts is something related to the blockchain. Okay. Now, so the blockchain and smart contract is the relationship of Windows and Excel. So Windows is an operational platform. So you cannot do anything without Excel. So otherwise, like just Windows. So blockchain is the Windows, it's an operational platform. Okay, and smart contract is operational procedures to connect all the players in the blockchain. Now, say for example, when you work, say like you want to purchase something from a foreign country. Okay, so the blockchain, what the blockchain will do is they will connect your company, okay, the shipping company, the manufacturing company, and also maybe the government's custom. Okay, so the blockchains link everything into one chain. So when you submit your purchase order and specification to the blockchain, okay, so all the related party can see that purchase orders. And then the purchase order will pick up by the manufacturing without any paperwork. So that's through a smart contract. Okay, so the smart contract is a condition of the procedures. So when this one happened, okay, some people can do something. So the smart contract would guide them to finish all the steps they need to do to complete their parts. So when the manufacturing company pick up your purchase order, they start to manufacture all the resources, all the materials. Okay, so those information will be part of blockchain as well. As a buyer, you can see the progress of the manufacturing. So you see like how that manufacturing process, what time they can deliver. So when the manufacturing company finished the product, the shipping company will start to execute as a part of their smart contract. So they would send the delivery truck to that manufacturing company, ship them to the port and through the cargoes, and then go to the custom and come to your site. So all the information would upload to blockchain.
Right.
Okay. So every players in the blockchain are follow the smart contract. So the contract means like something they need to fulfill in order to move on to the next step.
Yeah.
It's like a very detailed process document, but they will translate into some programming language in blockchain. So they have different applications these days, like they are very focused on developing smart contracts. Blockchain can be open blockchain or private blockchain, so it depends on like where do you want to go. But most like a smart contract are developed based on the private blockchain. So it's a connection pipeline for all the players. So now the information, instead of like sending paperwork to another side and another side send it back the paperwork. So everything would be flow electronically without any paper.
Great.
So they were changing the whole business landscape of how the information document flow.
Okay. Thank you very much for that explanation. Please, can you just hold on? It's this like a question and answer session where I ask questions and you respond. We also have our other panelists who are giving his own session, and we've not asked questions. So, but my next question is directed to him. Daniel, please just hang in there. Let me ask him the next questions. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
I'm here.
Okay, yeah, right. For your own session, thank God, I know that Daniel plays more in the blockchain space, and that's why I asked him that question. And thank God you didn't get to even spend so much time. Yeah, exactly. So, but relating to your own aspects, guys, this is the time for you to also ask them questions. Whatever question you have, please just type it on the Q&A. I'm looking at it at the moment. See, there's no stupid question in this place. Ask them questions relating to any technology you think you want clarity on. And I'm sure they will tell you what their opinion is. Okay, back to what my question to you is that you talked about big data, you talked about artificial intelligence and all. My question to you is that, do you think that, I know you've said something about this, but I think I need you to speak more to it. The way we have all this technology that is changing the way we work, is changing even the tools that we use to work, right? The question is, how can finance professional get the most of this? I know that there are finance professionals that they just wish that they want to play in this space, but they don't even know how to get started. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? They don't know how to get started. So my question to you in simple terms, if assuming I'm a finance professional and I want to dive into these other things, right? And most of the time, I even I advise younger professionals who have not gone far in their career to be able to pivot their career and, go into these other areas. The question is that, how do you think they can start? Where do you advise them to start from?
I think the answer to this question is right here. They should go to Techie accountants and start from there. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the conversation we're having is about accounting and technology, and it couldn't have been different. I'm not sure there's any new thing I want to say about that. We've had a conversation on this, but as a guidance, I think you can start from data science, learn about data analytics, how to present data, data visualization, learn Power BI, how to use Power Pivot in Excel. Those are soft entry points for you. And then you can also start learning a little bit about programming, about using machine languages, how to do coding, and If you have, so it depends on your interest. You can also learn about cyber security. But I don't want you to take away the accounting knowledge or the finance knowledge that you have, because it is also a rare knowledge and it's a very important knowledge. A lot of technical people don't know. They always rely on accountants to tell them how
Sure.
they account. And you can see that the accounting profession itself, it's just that this conversation is biased towards technology. The accounting profession itself is not sleeping. There are new standards that are coming up every day: IFRS 15, IFRS 16, IFRS 17. How do those standards affect you? And how can you bring in those standards into technology? So you probably need to work more, need to study more, study your accounting books more. But being an environment like Techie accountants, always have them around, places where you can go. And I said I was going to tell you, we need to have like a technology hub, like a studio where people can come in randomly and just try their hands on different things, whether data visualization, where they can learn even for free. And then if they want to take it further, they can now, enroll on the course. We need to have that physical location. We also need to have virtual location and upgrade our website so that people can come in and learn those things. So I think being more around an organization and people like Techie accountants, you can't be far away from the answer. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Someone is asking, which programming language would you recommend for a finance professional? I think said you start from data science. It's your question.
Yeah, you were saying it's the programming language. To be honest with you, I'm not an IT person. I know there's Python, and I don't know if Daniel can help with that. With
that question.
Well, I haven't do programming for a long time. I think like SQL is the basic SQL language like you need to learn, because a lot of time like for the data analytic, we need data. So the best way to retrieve the data, the most direct way to retrieve the data is using SQL.
Yeah.
Okay. Now other programming language like a C#, C++, or other like a newer language, they're for programmers. Unless like you have a very keen interest to become a technical programming things, I would say like leave them to professional. Okay. So, but SQL is a relatively easy to use, and also like help you to speak up your analysis like much faster instead of waiting for the IT to give you a report that is totally not what you expect.
Okay, just to buttress what Daniel said in terms of the programming, you don't need to go too deep into these things, because you don't need to leave finance and become an IT person. But what we're saying is I have a working knowledge of it. When IT people are talking, you should be able to also contribute in that conversation and understand the capabilities of these things. Now, when you're talking to your clients and your client is saying this is where they need to go to, you're already there. You say, okay, I know how we can get there. Or sometimes a lot of your clients don't even know exactly what they want. That's what I've come to realize. Or when they see something good, they go for it. It's like a car. Most of us don't know exactly the kind of, but when we see a good car, you say, oh, that's a fine car. I want it. So we need to understand the capabilities of these things, these machines, of what the system can do, the programs. And the only way to understand it is to also get involved. But you don't need to become a core programmer or an IT person. People that do serious programming started probably when they were 7 or 8 years old. So you just need to have a working knowledge.
Yeah. Okay, there's another question. I did my research and I realized there are different aspects such as data science and analysts. Are they all intertwined? And if yes, what's the best place or aspects to start?
I think like as I mentioned, if you want to have a focus or understanding like what is expectation from your potential employers, because we can study as many as we can, but they're not useful to your employer, so you won't get hired, you won't get promoted. So look at the job descriptions from the job you want to apply. or the position you want to move on, look at those job descriptions, do some research, see what type of skills, technical skills, soft skills, those company for those positions. So I think that they will give you at least some idea that like I can spend my time and money to the most effective way, because I need to address the people's need, not because I want to address to my need, but your employer's need.
Yeah. Yeah. So a form of backward integration. Look at the required skills.
Yeah, it's like exam. Like you look at the answer before you answer it, right?
Absolutely.
So when you study, you study the answer and you try to link it back to the question.
Yes. Yes. Okay. That's fine. Guys, do you have any other question? Let me see. I think we have questions in the Q&A. Will a master's in fintech cover all an accountant needs to know in the technology world? Definitely not, because there are different technology. Oh, I'm not supposed to be answering. It's supposed to be the speakers answering, please. So who wants to answer that question? I'm reading from the Q&A session, please. Will a master's in fintech cover all an accountant needs to know in the technology world? Please. Osaya, would you like to answer that?
Yeah, so you can't get it wrong doing a master's in fintech. I think I saw that course, particularly a lot of UK universities are offering that. But I look at the curriculum of those courses, they are really technical. Okay, so if you have the time and you have the brain for it, yes, it is a good one. I think you should go for it. But what we're trying to say is that don't get carried away, so that you don't become just a fintech person, unless you really think that that's the next thing that you want to be. Because even as an accountant, as an engineer, as a doctor, and just like what Daniel have said, the higher you go in your organization, the more you move away from the technical bit. You now become a business person. You start thinking about performance. You start thinking about profitability. You start thinking about sustainability. You start thinking about human relations. You need more of soft skills. Now, all these things about fintech, about finance, is more of technical skills, okay? And then you don't want to go and immerse yourself too much into technical abilities. And then when it's time to deliver the soft skills, you're not there. It is a good one. If you have the bandwidth for it, there's no knowledge that is wasted. It's definitely going to help you. But I don't want you to go and inundate yourself with technical skills and forget to develop on the soft side.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Is business information and data analyst certification course relevant to accountants? That's another question.
Well, I don't know about that course. The reality is that there is series, more than 1 million courses and certifications that you find online. I'm sure Techie accountants will also come up with their own very soon. And this thing, but whatever value that you can have, you understand, just whatever knowledge that you can have. The world is gradually moving away from certification to capabilities. Does that course give you the capability to do what you want to do? So look at the course. Does it have the content that you desire? Does it have the practicalities, opportunity for you to practicalize what you will learn? Because it's not just about the theoretical knowledge. You need to be hands-on. But more importantly, I want you to focus on what you do currently and where you see yourself. So it's like a backward integration, like you said, or you walk from the answer to the question. You need to say, where do I see myself? Which part of the career am I going to build myself? What are the opportunities that are available out there? And you match it and say, okay, what capabilities and skills do I need to meet up with these, so that when the time is ready, fit for the future, and then you start thinking about how to develop capabilities in those areas.
Right. Someone else is asking, which application aside from MS Excel would you recommend as a fast and handy tool for budgeting? I have a deadline this week. Please help. Wow.
Well, I think for this week, your only option is Excel.
Right. I think it's Excel too. Besides, do you have a contrary opinion? I think
Okay, I think it's Excel. If it's for this week, in fact, for the next one, I think Excel works. Like we're not moving away
It does.
from Excel. And if you look at the way these applications are built, the background and interface is still Excel. So if you can master
Yeah.
your Excel, it's fine. But one easy thing for budgeting is that look at your past data. Okay, sorry, techie accountants. Let me just give them some guidance on planning and budgeting. Look at your past
Yeah.
financial statement, maybe for the past 1 year or the past 1 month, the ones that you have prepared, and justify every item on it, your revenue, your cost, and all that. You have a new budget, So that's an easy way to start.
Yeah. Thank you very, very much. I think the last question will be directed to Daniel. I don't know if you can answer this. Someone is asking for a brief explanation on cryptocurrency.
Okay, so cryptocurrencies. Now cryptocurrency, I think like the first cryptocurrency is Bitcoin. So I think like at the beginning they're selling for 5 cents. If you buy it 100 Bitcoin for $5 or 50 cents something, and you become a billionaire today. Now cryptocurrency, okay, the word crypto means like they encrypt, means like they're secure. There's some type of security built into that currencies. Now, the other part of this word is a currency. So what is a currency? Like we have paper currencies. Okay, the value of the currency is based on faith, the faith to your government, right? So the cryptocurrency, when it first introduced to the market, it was a revolutionary idea to work for the money transaction outside the government control system. Okay, so this is like the first idea they brought up of the cryptocurrencies. Okay, and then it developed into different type of coins. They're using like a blockchain to control the flow of the currencies. Because the way we use our paper currency, because we trust it. So we go to buy things, we give the seller a piece of paper. And the seller believe this piece of paper worth the money. Okay, now they sell the good to you. The same thing for cryptocurrencies. The transaction in blockchain or in the cyber world, using the current cryptocurrencies, I buy something using say a Bitcoin. The other side trusts this Bitcoin is worth something. Okay, but in reality, the Bitcoin is just like a set of numbers.
Yeah.
Right. So now they have so many cryptocurrency in the market now. Okay, some of them have better use, for example, Ethereum, okay, ETH. So they have actual transaction value because a lot of smart contracts are using Ethereum to build. Okay, but for other like a cryptocurrency, I stopped following the cryptocurrency market because I don't have time. But a lot of them is just like some, I would say like scams. Okay, they don't have any actual value behind it. Okay, because like people like cryptocurrencies, they create something and sell it to you. So at the end of the day, like they go bankrupt, they go disappear. Recently, like I just experienced one scams in the cryptocurrencies, and honestly, like personally, I lost some money too. Because the person is selling cryptocurrency, they tell you they have a AI intelligent transaction, so they can buy cryptocurrency and sell cryptocurrency using AI, and then they can give you maybe like a 1% return per day based on the AI transactions, right? So it worked for about 6 months, but and then like I was a lucky one because I only invest like a couple of $1,000s in there. But I see like there are other people in that scam. They invest the whole life saving. right? So when you go to the cryptocurrency, like I think like it's not easy way to describe like what is the actual cryptocurrency, but the best way is like something like if we trust it, so we can use it to buy. The other side trust it, they will accept it. But when the trust disappear, that cryptocurrency will become nothing. The same thing for a piece of paper, for your paper money. So if somebody do not trust the government can honor the value of that paper will disappear, will become nothing.
Okay, thank you for the insights. I hope the person that asked the question understand cryptocurrency better. All right, that'll be the end of our Q&A session. I can't see any other question from anybody. So that's the end of our Q&A session. Daniel, thank you very much for showing up. Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me to join this session.
Thank you. All right. Kemi, you have to. Let's have a quick run with the remaining.
Yes.
Thank you to our panelists for joining and for the insightful session that we had. I've dropped the link to the forms that we have in the chat box. If you're interested in any of our courses, we have Becoming a Techie Accountant, the one we're rounding up today, season 9. We will start in about a month's time. Yes, we have also the business of tax consulting. If you intend to specialize in tax, you can also indicate and we'll get back to you. We have other courses on accounting software, and most importantly, our next course is data and analytics for finance professionals. We've had the beginner session at the beginning of the year. We're having the advanced session coming up next month. So if you want to learn data analytics and even much more how it applies to you as a finance professional, then please fill the form in the chat box and we'll get back to you on the details. Everything that we've spoken about today still points to the fact that we have to be technology savvy. And that's why we have created the advanced form of our data and analytics course. In the beginner form, in the beginner session, we discussed Tableau, Power BI, and Advanced Excel. And in our advanced session, we'll be teaching SQL and Python. And remember that Mr. Daniel mentioned that if you want to learn, SQL is a good place to start. So if you will be interested in learning, you can register for our advanced data analytics. Just fill the form in the chat box and we'll get back to you sometimes next week. We also have a fintech course that we are preparing that is coming very, very soon. You can also drop a message in that form and we'll get back to you as regards that. So if you're interested in any of our Techie Accountant courses, please fill the form in the chat box and we'll get back to you. We will respond to you next week. We'll respond to you via email and would answer the specific questions that you have. We will also be launching a platform for finance professionals, recruitment of finance professionals very soon. So that's top secret. So if you're here, you heard it first. We're launching very soon. It's called Hire for Africa. So when you see it, know that you heard it here first. So we're launching that a recruitment platform for the hiring and recruitment of finance professionals across the globe. So we're not even restricting it to Nigeria or Africa alone. So you can look forward to that. We have your emails and then we'll keep you posted as regards our plans coming up, but you can hold this for now. So this is just a sneak peek of some of the things that we have coming from the Techie Accountant Academy. It is past 6 p.m. here already, and we'd like to round up very shortly. We have some more awards to give out to some of the participants from our season 8 Techie Accountant, and we'll be doing that shortly. Tosin, please roll out the awards and let's celebrate them.
Yes, back to the award section. Thank you, Kemi. So the next award is for the most coordinating during classes, and that goes to Abdullah Zakaria. Abdullah Zakaria, congratulations for being very coordinated during our classes. Congratulations. Please congratulate him, guys. And the next award goes to most interactive in class, and that's Mr. Olalaye Razak. Olalaye Razak, congratulations for being one of the most interactive in class. And shortly, the next award for the most inquisitive, and that goes to Joseph Apewa. Joseph Apewa, congratulations. Congratulations, congratulations. And then the next award for most active in class goes to Idara Ekanem. Congratulations, Idara. Congratulations. And then the final award goes for the most chatty in class, one of the people that asks a lot of questions and, tries to make the class more fun. And that's Anikayo Oluwakemi. Anikayo Oluwakemi, congratulations. Congratulate them, guys. Shortly, we'll be moving on to the next agenda, and that's the second testimonial. And that goes to Peace Omolola. Peace Omolola, please, can we have you on board?
Okay. Good evening.
You're welcome, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, but we can't see your face.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Hi, Peace.
Good evening.
Actually nice to be on the platform this evening.
You're welcome.
So, about my joining Techy Accountant, I actually got to know about Techy Accountant on Instagram, and I've been following them for quite some time, for a very long time, and I always liked their updates and postings on Instagram. But early this year, I think that was where I got to, that spirit of participating. I just developed interest to participate earlier this year when I got a job as an accountant and also as a social media officer. So along the line, I was still getting along on the social media aspect, but on the accounting aspect, I think I wasn't doing too well. And the management called me up that I was not performing well in my accounting skills and role I was supposed to do. So due to that, I felt very bad because as an accounting graduate and also a student member of ICANN, I believe I should be able to, perform better. But my surprise, I wasn't meeting up to the management expectation. So that was what dared me to, say, okay, let me join the Techie Accountant to learn more about what I don't know in that field. So I made my research and I discovered that one of the important things you need to start, how to start your career as an accountant is firstly to get, mingle with people that are already in the field or that are already in that field you want to join. So that was what made me enroll for the course. And ever since I enrolled on the Techie Accountant platform, it has been really mind-opening and insightful training, from the mentorship part of it to the presentation, to the weekly presentation part of it, and every other aspect of the training section has really been insightful. And one of the things we were taught starting a career was to know your why you want to become that person you want to become, what you want to become, and also just your why, your what, and I think your how, or something like that. So those are the parts of what we were taught. And another thing is certification is not an achievement. I always hold on. I have my ICANN certificates. I have it on. I didn't know what I'm supposed to know as an accountant. But little did you know that certification is just for you to build on it. It's not like it's the major goal. So, and those were part of what we were taught in the training section. And every of the training section we've had on Techy Accountant has really been insightful and mind-opening. Like, they open our mind to various aspect of the career. Because most of us, what we do is that we try to, maybe the practical aspect. I mean, we always hold on to the theoretical aspect of maybe reading to pass without having the practical knowledge or how we can actually sell our skills. So part of the training was part of the mentorship class taught us how we can actually market our skills, and which was one of the major training sections was the one with Mrs. Omowumi Akimande, and other training sections too were really insightful and impactful, with talking about the emotional intelligence part, what success means to you, how you can actually build your CV, because some of us, our CV is another, cost that could also delay us in getting what we want to get in our career. It's actually impactful and insightful, and I'm really happy that I came across the page and I also participated in the academy. Thank you to Gifford Foundation. Thank you, Ms. Tosin.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mrs. Toyin. And thank you to all our mentors that taught us for impacting us from their wealth of knowledge. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Peace. So shortly, I want to ask you a question. What was your most favorite standard? The pre-recorded session and the assessments. Which one did you enjoy most among the standards?
Okay. The most favorite standard I enjoyed most was IFRS 15, revenue from contracts with customers. And that standard on its own is really broad and is something we should all learn about, because revenue is not just about you getting money, but it's about how you're also able to meet up with whatever demands you require. Thank you.
That's a good one, Peace. Have a wonderful time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so shortly we would like to invite our last participant of sharing his testimonial today, and that's Razak Olale. Razak Olale, you're welcome to share your testimony.
Good day, everyone.
Good day, you're welcome.
Thank you once again. My name is Olale Abdulrazak. So I'm one of the participants in Techy Accountant. So I'm really happy to be among the participants. So it's been a great one for me. I learned about Techy Accountant through LinkedIn. So that was the period I was on unemployment then. So trying to, although I'm a graduate and also a chartered accountant by that time, so I went to different interviews, asking many questions. How can you prepare a practical? Can you prepare a financial statement, a practical one? Okay, they taught us in school we are going to do this. Okay, give you a practical tip. With this information, can you be able to do something like this? So I tried my hand on it, but with that, I think there's it's no for me. So till that time, I was thinking, how can I develop myself? How can I this practical aspect, because it's the thing that most of our country needs to know, not the theory things that just learn in school. So when I came across Techy accountant, so I started to apply. So and to cut the story short, during the process, I've learned a lot, starting from the IAS standard, FIS, to the preparation of financial statements. Now, as I'm telling you, because one of the testimony, what the main reason of saying this testimony is that as I'm talking right now, I'm really engaged as an accountant through some knowledge I got from Techy accountant. Because I remember there was an interview I went to that they are asking, okay, you are a graduate, you are an accountant, okay, what the particular can you talk about? So, and I think that was the following week. I just pre-recorded the video that talk about IAS then. So I just see that one because it's different. I don't remember. So IAS talk about this, talk about this. So inventory, how to measure your inventory, everything. So with that, they are very impressed. Okay, now asking the same question. Can you prepare a financial statement? And that I was like, with confidence, because second accountants have helped us, have really tried um, have told us how to prepare the financial statement. And from start gathering the information up to where gathering the information up to where to get a particular the following data you are going to need in preparing the financial system. So with that, I'm able by that time I'm able to say confidence that sir, I can do this, I can do this. So you need to get your maybe you have to collect your bank statement with that other information, you write your tribal from there. So and they are very impressed. So thank God the second accountant that I am, once again and I'm fully employed and I can say thanks to Techy Accountant of that because they really helped me in that aspect. Even pertaining to my CV, because then I was just submitting CV, just know that I didn't know the rudiment of community. I just do something, submit CV. But with the help of Techy Accountant, they taught us this was supposed to be in your CV, this was not supposed to be there. So with that, I think I gave a lot to journey tech accountant, so I'm very happy. So and most of the sessions they are very fantastic. So especially the session where you are able to interact with the person, the tutor that is teaching you your FIRS or IESO. So you are going to ask a particular standard the question the what you are not clear of and it's going to give you more light of it. So everything is very, very interesting. And there is another session I remember that talk about networking. So with that, I think it ginger my spirit in networking. So because since that day I've tried to network and give them okay, not about network, no, you need to
Wow.
provide the value
This is
because I
highly
was talking to
impressive. Thank you
so
very much.
I really enjoyed it. Thank you very
Congratulations on
much.
the
Thank
job
you
that you
for
just
the
got. Congratulations on your new
Thank you.
employment. We're so happy to hear
Thank
this.
you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you very
much.
much. Thank you once
Yes,
again. Thank you, Techie. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Yeah.
yes, we are glad to be of help. Thank you to everyone that took time to join the summit today. We hope this has been insightful and educative for you. And the link to the form is on the chat box. If you need to make any verification or you need to ask any questions, just send it to the form and you'll be responded to this week. Thank you very much once again.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. As we've dropped the link, please, if you have any questions or if any of the facilitator, the panelists did not respond to your question, please, you can use the form in the chat box. We will respond to you. If you want to know more about our courses, from the Techie Accountant course to the Data and Analytics course, please fill it in the form and we will get back to you. We will be responding to emails from Monday. We'll be responding to your questions from Monday. So if you have questions, please use the form, fill the form, and we'll get back to you. We have the form in the chat box. You would see the description of the form. We have our email address and our phone number if you rather contact us directly. Okay, so please use the form. Also, more importantly, please give us your feedback. We would like to know how we can do better. We organize this summit about twice a year, so we would like to know what we can do better. What would you like us to improve on? Please, you can also give us your feedback in the form. If you'd like to know about our courses, please just ask in the form and we'll respond to you. We'll send you a document containing the list of all our courses and all the information that you need to know. So thank you again for joining us. We apologize for taking this much time, and we believe that you want the YouTube
yes,
link.
our YouTube address. Let me share my screen so they can see the all our social media platforms. So yes, all our social media platforms.
The link to the YouTube channel is in the chat box. You can search for the Techie Accountant across all social media pages and you would find us there. So you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. We have amazing resources on YouTube that you can watch on YouTube, and it will be instrumental to your career. Thank you for joining. And at this point, before we round up, in just one word or two words, just tell us how the summit was for you
or you can click on the link to give us your feedback via the form. But in the chat box, let's know how you found the summit. Was it informative? Yeah, insightful. Thank you so much, Aisha. Thank you so much. That means a lot to us. Thank you. So we need more feedback. Please send your feedback. How was it for you? What did you learn? Would like to know in the chat box, please. Insightful and informative. Thank you. That's our goal when we organize a summit, to make sure that you are a more knowledgeable finance professional. Impactful. Thank you so much. Thank you. We need more. We need more. We have like quite a number of people still around, so resourceful too. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget to fill the form if you have any questions. We would like to hear from you. We'd also like your feedback. Please criticize us when necessary. We're open to your criticism. Yeah, thank you. Educating and motivating, informative, impactful. Thank you for these words. Thank you. Thank you so much. We're glad it was worth your time. Thank you. Tosin, any last words on your end before we round up?
None really, because our time is fast spent already.
Thank you, Emeka, for sharing that insight. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. We look forward to having you all on board soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Collins. Thank you so much. So ideally, we would have played you music, but YouTube would come and tell us that we don't have rights to the music, so we stopped playing music. Oh no, we do not offer certificate for participation. We only do that for our courses. So yes, when you take our courses, yes, we offer certificates, but for our summits like this, no. But we're growing to become a brand that when we say you attended our summits, yeah, we'll get to that level. Yes, Emeka, definitely in the coming week, we'll be responding to everybody that filled the form. We'll give you details on the particular course and when it will be happening. Twice a year isn't enough. Wow, okay. Our boss is around, so I'm sure she can see what you said. So I don't know about that.
Yes. Well, this is good to know. Thank you so much for putting this together. It's worth the time. Well, thank you very much, Onyechi Precious. So I think this is where we say bye and see you another time soon. Have a wonderful Sunday evening, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Thank you.